standing up, please come and find your place. That's right. Thank you so much. So I have the honor of introducing you a very special person, a very special friend. I would say it's somebody very, very resilient, and more than what he is as a human being, because he's a great person, he has a great message for you. He has prepared something that is going to be a very, very critical tool for you to develop as a trainer. So be with all your senses in this presentation so you can take everything that is worthy for you, that is valuable. All the way down from Sweden, let's give a big hand to Henrik.
Thank you, David. Thank you. Okay, thank you, everyone. So let me start with a question. How much and how strong of a presence of mind do you have when you are presenting? Yeah, think about that question. And I want to say that I'm so honored to be here again. And it was just 6 days that I was standing here. And now I'm standing here again. I mean, who would think that? I didn't think that when I was presenting last time, that just a few days later that I would be here again. And during these days, oh my God, so much has been happening. It's been so much development and challenges and transformation. I must say that I'm so impressed of what's going on in this room. So much learnings, and some of you may feel a little bit of pressure inside of you from all the challenges, everything that's happening, going on. Some of you may have a lot of pressure. And some of you maybe think this is a piece of cake. But all of us, we are here together, and we are here to learn, to be our best self. And so we do. Me as much as you. We are learning to grow and to give each other the best kind of feedback that we can give so that we will be able to bring these resources out in the world as neuro-semantic trainers. And for the evening presenters, Joyce, it was so valuable, your presentation last night of being gloriously fallible. So I bring it in my presentation as well. So again, it's a really honor to be here. And I want to ask you now, how much of presence of mind do you experience? So how strong is your presence of mind? Is it easy for you to get into the state of being present? Huh? Do you know how to be present? Yeah? So what about being present? Well, it takes some time. Oh, something has happened, Mohammed. Will you please come here? Yeah, the pointer lacks presence of mind. It lacks a mind. Okay, so So sometimes we feel challenges coming up during the presentation. For example, when the equipment doesn't work and the pressure is increasing inside. So now I ask you, how strong is your capacity to have presence of mind under pressure? So during this presentation, I will present to you how to develop presence of mind under pressure. This will be a 30-minute presentation, and during these 30 minutes, I will go through the what, the why, the how. I will do a demo with one of you, and then you will go to practice. Afterwards, I will go through the what if and answering some questions in the end. Let's start with the definition. What is presence? Presence is a state of being fully here and now, in the moment, grounded, and having sensory awareness, being fully in the moment with your senses available. It's a state, it's an emotional, and it's a body, emotional, and mental state. And pressure. What is pressure? It is the perceived experience of threat or danger. The feeling that something is dangerous, it may not be dangerous, but still we feel that it activates a sense of stress response in the body. So it activates our fight and flight response because we experience an urgency, an overwhelm, too much challenge, feeling that we crumble together in the overload, the pressure. And then we have presence of mind under pressure, which is actually a gestalt state. So it is when we have fear or we have pressure. Fear is a kind of pressure, and we metastate, or fear is a primary emotion, but that we metastate with resources so that we can be grounded and stay cool and calm even in the face of the threat. To have our resources available even when it's a lot of stress response inside. So now I want to know what in this training activates a sense of pressure in you. And how do you experience that pressure? Is it when you are presenting? Or is it when you prepare the presentations? How do you experience that pressure inside your body? How do you feel the muscle tension? Do you feel, how do you breathe when you are feeling the pressure? So let's give some examples of pressure. How about when you're feeling exposed? Because when you're exposed, people see maybe your weaknesses. Maybe they will think that you're not perfect. Or is it feeling observed? That you're standing in front of the group. People are watching you. Or being evaluated. people are interpreting you, thinking about you. What is creating that pressure in you? How much pressure do you feel? Or is it the pressure of time? That it's long hours here, but still a lot of things to prepare, a lot of things to do, a lot of things to achieve. What is really challenging for you, bringing that pressure? Or maybe it's the inner demands that you are demanding inside yourselves. Maybe feeling that I need to be good enough. Yeah. So just go inside and feel how strong is that sense of pressure right now when you activate those memories. And give me some fingers. How much pressure do you feel between 0 and 10? How much? 6. We have 8. Yeah? 7. 10. Okay. A lot. Wow. So here is a lot of even more than 10. Okay. So let me tell you my story. You all know that before coming here, I was overloaded. I felt so much pressure. And then I delivered my presentation 6 days ago. And I was, before going there, it was full of pressure, but then I was delivering it. And I felt this sense of, relief. Oh, finally, I've done it. Maybe maybe I was not feeling it was my very best presentation, but I did it. Whew. And then I was sitting there, right between Michael and David. And it was, still the pressure was going on. And then I heard Michael's voice mentioning that maybe there will be another presentation later. I was like, no. That's not what I want. No. And 2 days later, Michael asked me, so will you do this presentation? Are you ready? And my internal dragon was screaming, no! Hell no! Hell no! But I answered, yes, I'm ready. Actually, I said I would love to. So you can just imagine. Now just imagine the pressure that I was feeling. Having only a few days, 4 days, to create this presentation. And that was really building up a pressure inside of me. It was the pressure of time. Also the challenge of being here, working with all these hours. So it was really getting tough inside me, and I was not feeling, it was not easy to accept that I will be able to do this. So I was feeling pressure overload. Then I asked David to help me out. So David, he took me through this pattern. And he was helping me to bring resources to my fear. So I brought the resource of calm. Having calmness in the fear. Calm fear. And acceptance. Acceptance. It is what it is. Yeah. You cannot do anything about it anyway. So just accept it. And sensory awareness. To be present in my senses. To be present in my senses. And from there was flowing a state of joy. So suddenly I was having this sense of joy and acceptance and calm. But still having the fear. Still the fear, but now created a new state. The presence of mind under pressure. So, why is it important to learn this? So the first reason is to develop the ability to respond instead of react. So how would that be for you when you are having your training, that you are having your presentation, that you can respond and not be in a reactive, triggered state, that you can actually know that you can choose what to do. So do you know that? That you have the capacity to be with presence of mind and choose your response. Would that be valuable for you? Yeah? Second, it allows you to access your resources when you really need them. So when in these challenges, when you experience pressure of mind, when do you really need those resources? Would it be really good to have those resources available when you really need them the most? Yeah? What would that mean to you, to have those resources really available? So imagine how that would be. Now just take it to your next presentation when you feel pressure. And how is that feeling in the body to have resources inside the pressure? The third reason is that people, they don't just hear words. No, they feel your presence. So people feel your presence. And when you are completely there, present together with them, something is happening that is transformative. It creates a transformative space where things can happen. And with that, transformation will happen in your training room. So how is that? Would you like that? Yeah? Fourth, being able to handle situations during the training. So many situations can happen during the training. The PowerPoint can break. The mic can break. There can be even conflicts. There's so many things. So let me ask you, what kind of situations do you think that it would be really, really important to have presence of mind under pressure? Give me some suggestion. Yes?
Today I was preparing my work in a PowerPoint inside my laptop.
Yeah.
Did you give me instruction? No, don't use it.
Okay. So she was so that was a challenge for you.
Very big challenge because all my concentration, all my steps was on my laptop. I just open it. After I open it, I just opened the PowerPoint. She told me, no, close it. I want you to feel it.
Okay, thank you. So we can have different kind of challenges during the training. And we can be able to have a presence of mind to handle all these situations. And a benefit from all these benefits is that this is accelerating your learning and your self-actualization and growth, so that you will become more and be able to do more and express more of yourself. So would that be important for you? Yeah? So usually we think of pressure as something negative, something that we want to avoid. But I want to invite you to see pressure as an opportunity to strengthen yourself, to become stronger. Because pressure doesn't break you, it shapes you. And just like carbon during millions of years has been pressured into diamonds, I want you to see that this pressure that you are experiencing, it can be transformed into diamonds of value for you, so that it can be valuable resources that can change the way you operate in the world. So a misunderstanding is that we are actually removing the pressure when we do this pattern. But we are not removing the pressure. No. We're starting to relate differently to the pressure. So bringing different resources to the pressure so that we can use it for growth and for transformation. So when we are experiencing pressure, in those situations, it reveals our weaknesses. We will see our frames, and we will perhaps feel a little bit weak and afraid. But then, with the presence of mind, we can transform those experiences again. So, in short, pressure exposes, and presence transforms. And another misunderstanding is that presence of mind is something that either I have it or I don't have it. That either I'm born with it or I'm not. But that's not true. It's not a personality trait. No. Instead, I want you to take another perspective. A perspective to see it as a skill that you can develop. And that you can be masterful at. Learning to have a presence of mind in all kinds of situations in your life. How would that be like for you? You like it? Yes. Yeah? William James said that the greatest weapon against stress is our ability to choose one thought over another. So now, let's go to the how. So, the elicitation question. How much and how strong of a sense of presence of mind do you have when you are presenting? When have you been under stress or pressure and yet have a presence of mind? So, the steps. So, step number 1, identify the context of needing presence of mind. So when do you need presence of mind as a trainer? Under what conditions? Where? And what is pressure for you as a speaker? What triggers the fight-flight response in you? So there you can use a menu list. Is it time pressure? Is it non-acceptance of your message? Is it non-involvement? Conflict? There are several other things that you can see in the menu. By the way, this is on page 50 in your manual, so you can open your manual in page 50 if you want to follow along. So then you also can rate the pressure. So how much do they have the pressure inside? Intensity, 0 to 10. Yeah. Step number 2, identify the elements of resources that you need. So what elements do you need that make up a rich and vibrant state of presence of mind? What resources do you need to have in order to handle such pressures? Is it calm, accepting, appreciation? Maybe some self-efficacy, or being centered, grounded. So step number 3 is to design your new state. So which resources will you choose to design the meta-stating of presence of mind? So from those resources in step 2, or you may have others, we create something called a spatial anchor. Spatial, I don't know how to pronounce it, but spatial anchor. Yeah. So what we do is that we could, for example, write on the on notes the different states and then put them on the floor. Yeah. So I will show you like acceptance, calm, appreciation, for example. And then in step 4, they access the pressure state. Then they step into the different resources to develop them and to build up each resources, that bring those resources into the state of pressure. Yes. So doing that with each of them, each time asking questions so that they remember a time and bring the intensity of that state up to around at least 8, and then getting with those resources into the pressure state. And then that is step number 4, access and amplify each resource and apply to the training event. And then we have step number 5, future pace, test and validate. So what happens when you think about taking this into your future? Are you aligned with it? Any objections? Do you need any other resource? Are you ready to make an empowering decision for it? So that is now time. So now it's time for the demonstration. Before that person that I have asked will come up, I will just set some frames. So this will be a demonstration that I will start to do the first 2 steps sitting down, and then we will apply the resources standing up. So the important thing here is that when we are applying the resources, that we are standing up. It's a demonstration, so it's for demonstration purpose, and we may or may not achieve the result. So, Ashwena, are you? Well, welcome up. Hello, hello. Sorry, yeah, you can sit here. Well, I will just pick up this one. Okay, so I will give you this one. Yep.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
hello.
Okay, so thank you for being here with me, and it's really brave of you to be here in front of all these people and make this demonstration.
Thank you, Henrik.
Yes. So I want you to, during this presentation, this demonstration, to remember to use your voice so that everybody can hear what we're speaking about.
Yes.
Okay, okay. And yeah, let's start.
Sure.
So step number 1, identify the context of needing presence of mind. So what is pressure for you as a speaker?
I think for me, it's when I'm not able to focus much when I'm doing a presentation, especially if there are personal issues going on. Then I feel the pressure.
Okay, so how do you feel that pressure in your body? How do you feel it inside?
I normally feel it here, like butterflies in the stomach, like we say.
Okay, so like butterflies in the stomach.
Yeah.
So what is it that really triggers that fight and flight response inside of you?
It's like me having like different voices and thinking about those personal issues instead of being totally present in that specific presentation.
Okay, okay. So we have some different things here. It sounds like inner demands, or is it what people will think of you?
Yeah, and am I doing it right?
Am I doing it right?
Will they notice my pressure?
Okay.
Or the stress?
Okay. And how strong is that sense of pressure when you...
Can go till 8.
Till 8?
Yeah.
And you have that when do you have it? Is it in the training context or somewhere else?
In the training, and especially when I have like personal challenges going on the same time, and me having a training to deliver.
Okay, okay, okay. Okay, so step number 2, identify the resources that you need. So what resources do you need to have in order to handle such pressure?
I think to be calm.
Okay, so calm. Yeah. Yeah, you can. Here's a list here if you want to see. I will come a little bit closer. So calm, fun.
Maybe playfulness.
Okay, playfulness. Yes.
Just forgetting about the pressure.
Uh-huh.
And self-efficacy. I'll figure it out.
Okay, so self-efficacy, figuring it out.
Yeah.
Okay, so calm. So let's write them down.
Okay.
Yeah. So calm. Playful. And self-efficacy. Yes. So now let's go to step number. So this is step number three. Let's go to step number 3. Now we stand up. So where would you like to put them as spatial anchors?
And in order?
Yes. Which order you want to have them?
Okay.
Yeah. There, yeah. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see. Let's see, for the demonstration purpose, maybe.
Put them here.
Yes, maybe we put them behind, a little bit behind. Exactly.
Yeah.
So you can. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah. Okay. So now, well, actually, we should actually, if you put yourself here and
Okay.
put the resources more behind you.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So now go into the state where you feel. Okay. So yeah. So just go into the state where you were feeling that pressure. So go to that state where you were feeling that pressure. Yeah. Exactly. And just feel what you feel when you have that pressure mind. When you have that pressure, just feel it in your body. You have it?
Yeah.
Okay. So then just step into the first resource of calm. And just develop that sense of calmness now. So when did you really feel calm? How did that feel inside you? So remember a time when you were really, really calm. What's that time when you were really calm?
These few days when I go for my walk in the morning.
When you go for your walk in the morning.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So just bring that calmness. So how strong is that now between 0 and 10?
8.
Okay, so just bring this calmness now into the sense of pressure and feel calm pressure. There, exactly. Good. And now step into, you can step out, step into playfulness. There, and just go into, remember a time when you were really feeling playful. There, and just feel what you feel, see what you see, hear what you heard, when you were really feeling playfulness. Really playful. There. When were you really, really, really being so playful? Okay. So how strong is that now?
I think it's 7.
7. Okay. So just double it. Make you even more playful. Tell me, what was the time when you were so playful?
I can recall a recent experience when I was having training with some of the participants, and we were having like Lego game.
Okay.
So they had an activity to do with the Lego game, and they had to build a tower.
Okay.
So we had like kind of fun with that one.
Okay, so really go into that experience of really playing with Lego in this training and just increase this feeling of playfulness. So tell me when you reach a level of 8 or above.
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, so take a step into the pressure with playfulness and calm. There, exactly. How is that? Good. So just let it blend and mix. And now, so step out of it into the state of self-efficacy. So when was the time when you were really having self-efficacy?
It was a recent one as well.
Yeah.
So I had a presentation of 1 hour to do on emotional intelligence. And it was my
Okay.
first time.
Okay?
And I was thinking I can get loads of questions. But still, I went through the presentation and it went fine. I
Okay.
managed to do it well and I answered the question. So I figured it out.
You figured it out.
Yeah.
So just go into that state of self-efficacy right now. And just remember and feel that state inside of you. And just, so how does that feel in your body? So just let it grow. So how strong is it now?
Put an 8 to that one as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so just bring it step into the pressure and just feel all of those feelings of calmness and playfulness and self-efficacy mixing together in that fear. And just let it grow inside you. There you go. Exactly. Very good. And just show me how your body is moving in this state. How are you moving in this state?
Good. Feels good.
Yeah, how are you moving in this state?
Like more lighter.
Yeah, more lighter.
Yeah.
Show me the movements. Show me the movements. Yeah, like
More
that?
light.
Okay.
Yeah.
Show me the eyes. That's nice. Okay, so now just going to step 5, future pace.
Okay.
So what happens when you think about taking this into the future? Are you aligned with this? Do you need any other resources?
No, I think these 3 are okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah? So are you ready to make this a part of your future?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, great. So thank you.
Thank you, Henrik.
Thank you.
Can you put that on here?
Yes, yes. Okay, so before you are going to the exercise, are you having any question about the process right now? No? Okay. Anybody having any question about the process? No, it's clear? Okay, so then we have 15 minutes each. So 1 minute to choose a partner and then 15 minutes each. I've borrowed yours. Thanks. Okay, it's time to come back. Okay, so let's just start then. And how did that go, that exercise? It was good? Yeah? Anybody else? We are starting now, so we cannot wait any longer. So, very soon, you will have the possibility to ask some questions. First, I'm going to... No. Rose. Mention some things then that can go wrong with this pattern. The first thing is thinking that presence of mind means being perfect. So that is how it could go wrong, because if you think that you always have to be present or have a presence of mind, then suddenly you're starting to put pressure on the very presence of mind. So you build up pressure with the presence of mind and losing the presence of mind. Yeah. So that is not how to do it. Instead, being just present, and if you lose presence of mind, yeah, you just notice it and coming back to it again. The second one is using this pattern to totally suppress fear. Yeah, so that is not what this pattern is about, to get rid of fear or suppressing it or taking it away. No, it is, as I told before, creating another relationship to fear so that we can use it for our growth and create a healthy relationship to fear, using it for transformation, to be our best self. So now I invite questions. What are your questions for me? So you can, when you have questions, go to the microphone and ask them there.
Okay, Henrik. I have one question for at step 2.
Yes.
I see that you went through identifying the resources that was required. And then there's another step about the frame that support these resources.
What you say there?
There's another question about the frame that support these resources.
Yeah.
And is that an option? I'm not sure if I followed and I missed that part. I just wanted to know if we can just skip through this one and go to the next step.
Yeah, thanks for the question. So the question is that in Step 2, there is a question in the end, what frame supports the resource?
Yes.
So really I would say that what I do is to just put a word on the resource. I just put a word on the resource. If we really need to find some other frame, I usually don't do that. It is yeah. So I think what is only necessary is to put words on the resource. Yeah, that is at least what I do. Yeah. Did that answer your question? Yes. Yes. Okay. Thank you.
So this is Amani's question.
Yes.
On the floor anchoring,
Yeah.
how is he going to recall the state without being kinesthetically anchored?
Can you say it one more time?
On the floor anchors, how can he after that recall the state without being physically anchored?
Okay. So how can you recall the state on the floor without being physically anchored? Well, an anchor can work in many ways. It's just an association. So when you are anchoring it on the floor, it is also a way to remember it because you have used a spatial anchor instead of a kinesthetic. So it's you use this space that you put the resource there, and so you will remember it. Does that answer your question? Yes. Okay. Okay. Any other question?
Can we get one more question?
Yes.
Yeah. We have here in step 2, what elements do you need to make up a rich, vibrant state? What is the difference between this and what resources do you need?
So the question is what elements we need to make up a resourceful and a vibrant state.
Yes.
Yeah. And what is the difference between that and what resource do you need?
Exactly.
There is no difference. It is just a different way to speak about how to access resources.
Okay, so you can choose.
Yeah, we can choose.
Either question.
Yeah, we can choose either question.
Okay, so
Yeah.
my other question is in step 1, where we choose the triggers, right?
We
choose the type of pressure, right?
Yes, we choose. So your question is if
We choose first?
if we choose the kind of pressure.
Yes.
Yeah, so we provide a menu list. So what we do is we provide a menu list in order for the person to find the pressure that is relevant for that person.
Yes.
So that's why we use the menu list, and so the person can find the situation.
Yes.
It is the help for them to find.
My question is, these pressures, does it relate it to the resources? I mean, for each pressure, the client should choose a resource, or it's a general, so he just choose, so he mentally knows that these are the pressures that I experience in the presentation, and these are the resources that I need to
Yeah, so let me see if I understand you right. What you want to know is if each pressure is linked to a specific resource.
Yes.
So the answer is that the pressures are not linked to specific resources. So you can see what kind of pressure it's caused, and then you build up what kind of resources you need, not like each resource is specific for one kind of pressure.
For all of them.
Yeah, you can use all the resources for each of the pressures, so it
Okay.
is like whatever you choose.
What happened with me is for each pressure she wanted to put special resource to make this pressure diminish. So what do I do with the client when this happens?
Okay, so what do you do with the client when the client wants to
Yes.
use one specific resource for each pressure?
Yes.
Okay, so the thing is that when you do the step 1, you just want to access a certain kind of pressure. You want to find a reference of a situation that is causing pressure. And that's it. That is why we are using it. So we are not using it in order to use all the kind of pressures in the same time. So only use one, and then after that build up, pick the resources you need for doing it with one.
Okay, so I just explain this, and
Yeah.
we choose the resources for all the pressures one time. So just explain this to the client again.
Yes.
And make this.
Yes. So you explain to the client that this is, you're looking for one situation, and the client is then using that one situation for building resources
for
to handle that situation.
Yes, for all the pressures.
No,
that
not
in
for
the,
all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Did that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Oh, okay, thank you. Yes. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. So, it's time for a little dance that has been created. So, Jason, I need you to guide me through this dance.
Not dancing, don't worry.
So, it's called the Diamond Dance. Thank you. How do you follow that? All right.
the things we say, and we'll be saying it to you after you make your final presentation, is just take a moment. How do you think you performed?
There were things that was really good, and there were things that I feel weren't a bit awkward sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah. So generally, I feel it went okay.
Okay. Are you pleased with it?
I'm pleased with many things.
Okay.
But I'm not. I mean, yes, I'm pleased that yes. But I know that there are things that could have been better. Yeah, so.
Well, you're getting closer and closer to the 3.0 level. So,
Right.
closer.
Right.
Okay. So are you ready for some feedback?
Yes.
All right.
Bring it on.
So we'll start with the formatting, and as you can see, 2.5,
Yep.
everything across the line here you did. So we just marked off every single one. You had more than 3 benefits. You had 5. And so all of that's well done. So that's what we're looking for. Now to go to the 3 level, we have to move it up there. Memorable steps or compelling reason or something, process installed. So that would be the next challenge for you. Because we did not hear your voice really sounding with that, why is this important? You gave it to us in words, but we did not really hear the voice, the induction voice at that level. That would take it up to compelling reasons. So that'll be the next step up.
So that's 2.5. Okay. So in terms of framing, we did hear the definition. It was very clear. We did hear the overview. We did have the interpretation frame. You also had several points, and they were clear on your PowerPoint. So one of them is brings the best out of you. If it doesn't break you, it shapes you. So you had several points, and they were made very clear, and we could easily tell that these are points. So I didn't need to guess or wonder. They were actually clear how you were saying them, and also being clear on the PowerPoint. So you made the points very clear. Yeah, so that's mainly the things I have. There are some opportunities for improvements. So one of the things we noticed outside when you had the problem with the clicker, you could have classified that as stress. So you didn't classify that as a challenge, or you just like commented on it quickly and moved on. But you had an opportunity to classify that as something that's causing you stress.
Okay, I actually said something about it.
You did say something.
Yeah.
But you didn't classify it.
It was.
So you did say something.
Yeah.
So that would have fallen under classifying an activity as well as incorporation down at engagement. But it was obvious that you were a little surprised.
Yeah, I was very surprised. It wasn't planned.
And
because I tried it before and it was working all the time. So.
and because your subject was pressure, if you had just a little bit quicker, that improvising of this, as a trainer, this is pressure.
Yes.
And incorporated it. So we put a 2.6 on the framing.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was really well done. You defined presence and then you defined pressure. So, and then putting them together and you identified a Gestalt state. You might have wanted to say a little bit more about the Gestalting because that was at the very heart of the exercise. And we didn't get any more about that.
Do you mean what the Gestalt state is?
Yeah.
Okay.
That it's more than just a meta state.
Yeah.
It's this layer of Don't sneeze.
Phew.
It's this layering of a metastate so that something more than the sum of the parts arises. Under group rapport, lots of things you did that built rapport. 2.5, greeting, using names, smiling, mentioning the group, last night, things we've been experiencing. You made it relevant, invited the relevance of this subject. There was undeniable statements, splitting statements. So lots of things for the report, and we thought that was well done. 2.6.
So under group engagements, and again, that's clearly one of your strengths. On the 3, I heard the group laughing 3 times, really hard, so that's humor. Also, you had the engagement questions, so throughout the presentation, you're asking them questions and you're engaging them through questions. You did mention the benefits, you did have drama, you did have a lot of drama at the end. What was that? Malbous? So you did have the drama and you did have the quotes. So I counted twice. You had quotes and you had them again on the PowerPoint. So by having the PowerPoint and having the quotes on the PowerPoint, they are very clear. Beside that, you also had the self-disclosure, talking about your presentation on the first night and how you have been preparing since then till today and what's been going on for you. You did have the stories. You did have the metaphor for the diamonds. Invite response. So you also did invite them to respond and engage with you when Tamer asked you a question in the middle of the presentation. Your energy level was also high. You did use technology, so you did use the PowerPoint, and I would say it was well used. So the way you're using the PowerPoint, clear, not too much text, highlighting the main points, the frames, and everything you really want your audience to see. So I'd say that was a very good use of PowerPoint. And the music at the end, you had Jason hide behind here, do some sound effects. So you also had good use of Jason. The dialogues. So for me, I also noticed that you did purposeful pauses. So during your presentation, you would pause a little bit, and I'll be taking notes and then stop to see what is Henrik doing. Is he still there? So I would say you did have the purpose pauses, which actually should elicit this response. People focus and see, so what's happening? So I would say also that was really well used.
When was that?
Well, if you didn't notice, we can remove that. Well, I was actually debating and asking them, was he doing that purposely or he didn't know what he was saying, so.
No, it wasn't so very purposeful.
Okay, so we'll go. Well, the good thing is on video, so we'll go back to check the video.
There was an awkward transition
Yeah.
with the papers on the floor. And so awkward transition. Otherwise, it might have been even higher. 2.8.
No.
Under voice, you articulated very clearly. Sometimes the tempo was a little slow.
Yeah.
And then you sped it up, and the volume was fine. Lots of words that you emphasize, key words. There was a hint of an induction voice. There was a hint. So step number 2, when you talked about calm and acceptance and whatever else you talked about, you sounded just a hint of that. But we didn't really have an induction voice. So we had instruction voice, and you gave us information, but not really so much the inductive voice. And so that was also true under state induction. And you could have done that really well with the pressure and inducing that state when you went through those qualities: exposed, observed, evaluated, time pressures. Will I pass?
Yeah, I have to practice that then. because that was what I tried to do. So I need to practice to induce states.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you can induce the humor state very well. But the induction voice, so the induction voice, we heard it in the demonstration. We heard it when you were working with her, but we did not really hear it in the audience.
Okay.
So, yeah, you want to say the score?
So 2.5 on use of voice. We did so many other things that, in spite of that, having that hint of that, it was 2.5.
Still 2.5. So adding to that, under inducing state, I noticed that you did induce the interest, you did induce the desire, and the other state I noticed was the state of fun. So I noticed that the audience were having fun and enjoying your presentation, and that's through humor, through your style, so your unique style and way of presenting. So that was definitely present during this presentation. Also under level 3, you had the storytelling, you had the menu list, I'd say the amplifies, using the drama and the things you're doing. Yes, so I would say that was there. In terms of the voice, Michael already mentioned that, so the voice could be a little bit more congruent, and the state induction is there. We want more, see more of that.
Okay.
So that's also 2.5.
Okay.
Lots of gestures for acceptance and calm, for resources, for pressure. Most of the time, pressure was this, pressure. Then you have pressure. So then making it consistent. With this also, this is trigger state. Because you did the same gesture and said it was trigger state.
Okay.
So that's where it wasn't quite clean, really clean and clear. And then there was the semantic props, the pieces of paper. And when you have a prompt and you're going to use a prop, it's best to have it well thought out, written out, because you were writing. It was a little awkward with you writing. You can always have someone else do the writing.
Yeah.
That takes away, you need to be directing your attention to that. So you could have somebody ready to write with a big pen, so they can be seen, and then setting it out.
Yes.
So 2.4 on space and movement.
Yep.
Yeah. So let me get my notes here. So in terms of the questions, yes, here's the questions. Here it is. So let's do the demonstration first. So under demonstration, under 2.5, you did have the voice. So you did have the instruction voice. And you also did have the induction voice.
Yeah.
So the induction voice was there, and that's how we know you can do it.
So you did it when you talked about calm,
Yeah.
Playful, self-efficacy. So we heard it.
Steps were covered in sequence. They were clear. Instruction might have not very clear. So instructions, we noted it was partially clear. When you were giving her instructions, at one point, the client was not sure what to do, and it was a little bit, not a little bit, it was a bit awkward.
Yes.
So I think that this is what you meant by you felt awkward.
Yes.
I was wondering if that's it or when you were dancing. but it's clear that was part, it was not smooth, and it had some, maybe as Michael mentioned in the step before, that you had to prepare a little bit for it, to be clear about how you're going to do it. So this is one of the things we noticed, but the voice was there, induction was there, instruction voice was there, steps were covered in sequence, clear. Instructions could have been better.
Yes.
Yeah.
So sitting on the chair, you could have said, in just a moment, we're going to go out, and I want you to put in a semicircle the 3 sheets of paper, starting with the one that comes first, the one that comes second, the one that comes third. Then we're going to go out and beyond that, it's going to be the pressure place.
Yeah.
So, are you ready? Which one will you put first? Which one will you put second? Which will you put third? So then, let's do that. Okay, now, standing out beyond them and stepping back to them when it's appropriate.
Yeah.
Let's find that pressure state.
Yes.
So just the instructions.
The instructions. Yeah.
So we put a 2.3 on the demonstrating, and we would say let's do 5 minutes and replay that and do a take two, see if you can get that accomplished.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's what we'll say to everybody. If you got a 2.3.
Okay. Okay.
Not you.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Not you. Questions, you had 5 questions, 6 questions. Each time you restated them. Every time it was pretty accurate. Accurate each of those times. You check to see if they were answered. You thank the person. The last one, what do you do with a client? And this is where really the answer is it's a gestalt. So you don't need a resource for each kind of pressure.
No, exactly.
Because what we're doing is creating a gestalt out of the pieces. So actually the pieces may have nothing to do as an immediate resource to pressure. But when they come together, they're more than and different from the sum of the part.
Yeah.
And the gestalt is presence of mind. So 2.5 on the questions. Now you promised the group that is a 30-minute presentation.
Yeah, and it was like a 45-minute presentation.
So 28 minutes before you even started the demonstration. 13 and a half minutes for the demonstration. Counts 42. And with the questions, it moves it up to 55.
Oh, okay.
So 1 for 2.
Okay.
So we allow for the master trainers to go 15 minutes overtime, but not 25.
Okay. Okay.
So Geraldine said, the way you ended with that dance, that should have been invited. Everybody stand up. Let's all do the pressure dance.
Let's do it again.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Well, your presentations are coming soon, so.
If you had time.
Yeah, then I would do it.
But 55 is just way too much. But if everybody wants to do it, then do it.
Okay, so let's do it. Let's do it now. Jason, will you put on the song?
If you want to do it with Henrik.
Okay, so let's do it. Let's do it together. But Jason, you need to coach. So Jason will coach us. Okay. Okay. And again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again. Diamond. There you go. And like this. Thank you. Yes. Oh. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay.
If you ever have to go to a mental hospital and meet a psychiatrist, think this.
Yeah.
We'll see you at 9 in the morning. Sleep well.
Boom. All right. Thank you.
You did your best.
Yes.
You were great. You did your best.
Yes.
Really, really, really.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.